Hi AMC Movie Talk fans, this is David Oyelowo here. Make sure to see Selma this January at an AMC near you. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us as always is AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Well, greetings and the most heartfelt salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you live from right here at the Stream.tv studios here in Hollywood, California, and it's Scrim Day! All things Scrim.
And also here, writer-director John Schnepp.
And a belated happy birthday to Miyazaki.
Happy birthday, Miyazaki. Nice shirt.
Also here, AMC's Christian Arloff.
I'm working on it. David Oyelowo. See, I can get it. Oyelowo. It took me a long time to get it, so I'm very proud of myself.
And also here, AMC's Mark Ellis.
You're still hitting that W way too hard. It's Oyelowo. Brad Pitt would be so proud of me.
Well, now that it's 2015, it is officially the year of Star Wars. The new film opens in AMC theaters on December 18th, and in case any of you were worried J.J. Abrams wasn't going to bring enough action to Episode 7, it looks like you can put those fears away. According to the site Twitch Film, 3 actors from the popular The Raid series are in the new Star Wars. Actors Iko Uwais, Yayan Ruhian, and Sisip Arif Rahman appear in undisclosed roles, and there is speculation the trio are also involved in fight choreography for the film as well. Schnepp, do you like this news about the Raid performers in the new Star Wars film?
Like it. I love it. That's so exciting. It's like they're all Darth, Scrim, Darth Scrawl, Darth Scribble. They all have triple-bladed lightsabers. The Raid 2, if you haven't seen it, is one of the best films of 2014. It's such an incredible action film, and to see these guys get the chance to rock it in the Star Wars universe, so exciting. I mean, it's been kept secret, JJ's mystery box or whatever, that's already been shot. They're done. They're like back home hanging out. We're in Star Wars, now we just found out. So yeah, I think it's fantastic news.
Christian?
It's amazing. I mean, it was in my top 5. The Raid 2 was in my top 5 movies of 2014. And to have these guys, what excites me as a Star Wars nerd is that I still say the Sith Army and the Jedi Army are coming back because these guys love fighting each other. They're gonna fight each other. You'll see some as Jedi, you'll see some as Sith. This is in my head. This is all speculation. But the fact that they're bringing in these type of dudes, because what the Raid 2 did so well in fighting was how realistic it looked. As much as fantastic as it was, it looked realistic. And look, these guys are really beating the snot out of one another. It's going to look like that again in Star Wars. Yes.
Mark?
I'm on the fence. I'm kidding. This is awesome. This is like the greatest news that I've heard since I heard there was a Star Wars movie. Like, this shows that J.J. Abrams is taking the action seriously. And when you look at, remember how the one thing that everybody clung to with The Phantom Menace was, the movie was okay, but that Darth Maul fight scene at the end was awesome. Yeah. How that elevated the action from the previous films. This could do that times 10 as well. I mean, you could see some of the greatest battle scenes you've ever seen on film, period, much less in a Star Wars movie. When you combine that with, the Raid with lightsabers would be the greatest movie ever, and now we get that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that really stands out to me about this is it reemphasizes this whole notion that JJ wants more real physical stuff that you see. And the idea that we are going to see combat on this kind of level, I'm guessing he's not bringing in these guys to do long soliloquies while gazing out at the stars in the universe, right? To go to ramp up the type of action that is going to require to meet the necessity to bring in these types of guys. Are you kidding me? I don't care if they're Inquisitors. I don't care if they're new Jedis. I don't care if they're just dudes on the street who decide we can fight. I don't care. This is great.
Well, it's encouraging that the fact that they're also helping with the choreography as well too. Because
Well, that's the rumor anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, if indeed that is the case, because that shows again what J.J. Abrams is doing and what the whole team over there is doing is to say, let's take all the elements that are working in other movies and what people are responding to. Hey, that dude that was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He knows what he's doing in performance capture. Let's get him. Hey, those guys in the Raid 2, they know what they're doing. Let's bring it all in and combine these great things that are happening in film and put it into the film that everyone has been waiting for.
Yeah, but they also can act too. Like when you watch the Raid 2, they can give a good performance. I mean, these aren't just like 3 all-star members of the Foot Clan. Like they know their way around the camera too. Like they can. Oh, we're off and running. Early. Okay. And I think credit also goes to Ashley for nailing the pronunciation of those names.
That was impressive.
That was really.
I tried,
she did
guys.
Like it was
I
nothing.
tried.
Christian and I bragging about David Oyelowo, and then she nails these 3. It's like, wow, that's good.
I tried, guys. All right, moving on. Actor Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum.
Channing
Tatum took to his Twitter account yesterday and sent out the message, how do you say October 7, 2016 in Cajun? Fox has announced this will be the release date for the previously confirmed X-Men spin-off film, Gambit, which will star Tatum. Gambit will follow the X-Men Apocalypse, which hits AMC theaters on May 27, 2016, and Deadpool starring Ryan Reynolds on February 12, 2015. John, how are you feeling about the Gambit movie and Fox having 3 X-Universe films in 9 months?
Yeah, well, actually, that Deadpool film is actually February 2016, and yeah, in 9. That's the thing that's been slipping under the radar for a lot of people. Like, everybody jumped on board when the Channing Tatum news dropped yesterday that Gambit, it's not just a theory anymore. Like, we've known for a while, yeah, he's probably going to be Gambit. There'll probably be a Gambit movie. Now it's once again that word. It's the tangibilization of it. It's real. It's got a release date, and it ain't that far away. Right. It's coming. But the thing that then slides under the radar is like, wait a minute. Fox has got 3 X-Men universe films coming out all within 9 months of each other. Deadpool first, X-Men Apocalypse, and then culminating in Gambit. So it's going to be really interesting to see how, to what level, and if any, crossover these films all have. Will Gambit be, I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I haven't heard anything definitive about what type of role Gambit will play in X-Men Apocalypse, if any. I haven't heard any official word that says, and maybe you guys have. It's still unclear about what role Deadpool's going to play on this. You know they're going to be in the same world. I just don't know how much crossover. But this is exciting, especially when you think about this. It wasn't that long ago. We're talking months, maybe a bunch of months, but months ago that everybody thought Fox was just completely incapable of carrying these superhero things. Get X-Men out of their hands. All of a sudden, X-Men Days of Future Past comes out, and everybody's singing a different tune. And now we're all excited because now Deadpool. And I'm telling you, I already feel the tide changing about people's initial reaction to Channing Tatum as Gambit. I think more people have seen Foxcatcher, and they're realizing, hey, maybe this is a good move. I'm excited about this. I think this is really cool. And to finally have, we'll see what DC does later on, but they're not doing anything right at the moment. But when 2016 comes and we get those 3 films, it's going to be cool that Marvel's just not all by itself cranking out these movies, and we'll see if they can have some equity there. I don't know. Anyway, Schnepp, what do you think?
Yeah, I think having 3 X-Men movies in 2016 sounds great. I'm also interested in to see how they're going to weave Deadpool. Are they going to mention Wolverine origins? Is that going to be a joke?
Hope not.
Is it, hey, my mouth is up, what are they going to say about that?
Well, the timeline's being reset, remember? The timeline's all different.
Right, so I guess he could be like, I woke up from a horrible dream and my mouth was sewn shut, some weird, whatever they're going to do. They have to fit him into the Fox X-Men world. It just makes sense, and it makes sense that Channing Tatum will be in X-Men Apocalypse. Maybe not the whole movie, but I'm sure he'll be featured. So, yeah, it's great. It's great news for X-Men fans and film fans. So.
Mark?
I like cockiness in art, and this is why this is so exciting, is that you get 3 X-Men films in the span of 9 months. And so I remember seeing Wolverine Origins and being so disappointed, not just because I didn't like the movie, but because it's not like it's a comic book where you have another issue coming next week. It's like you got to wait so long. Now you get to see Deadpool, and then a few months later you get to see X-Men Apocalypse. A few months after that you get to see Gambit. I mean, these are the characters that you want to see more of, and as much as possible, I think Gambit will make an appearance in X-Men Apocalypse, and I think they're going to tease that SOA movie, and it's just exciting. I mean, it's the same thing what Marvel's done with the Avengers, is that you get this one huge movie that everybody's in, then you get all these cool standalone pieces, but X-Men, there's more stories to tell than you have even in the Avengers universe, so it's a pretty exciting thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's, for me, I actually think First Class was one of the main reasons to really get them back on track, because Days of Future Past continued it. Because you said, okay, wait, now we're in this universe that we can start pumping this stuff out. And Fox is so happy that everyone's talking about the Sony stink. Because no one's talking about them right now, and they're able to do stuff like this, make their moves, and then say, hey, guess what we have? And like, oh yeah, Fox. They have all this great stuff, and now we're talking about them in a positive light.
And they're doing it great again.
They're doing it great, and they're setting up, because the team, and we talk about this on the show all the time, the team that they have in place, not just with the directors, but everyone, the studio heads that are making the right moves and making the right creative decisions are the reason that these movies have great potential. And I agree with you. I think that Channing Tatum right now is getting a lot of more credit, and not even from people who've just seen Foxcatcher, but that have heard about him on shows like this, and from reading stuff saying, oh wait, he's starting to get that respect. Respect carries over, just even if you haven't seen stuff, and he's going to carry it into this movie. I'm very excited for this film and for the possible crossovers in all the films.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to pull any punches. Channing Tatum sucked for a very long time. He was a terrible actor for a long time, but he did everything right. And that's a common thing we talk about on these performers who decide to dedicate themselves and work and work and work and work and work and work and really do it the right way. And then you can tangibly see them start to get better and better and better. And we've seen that from Channing Tatum for the last few years, to the point now that some people are making an argument that maybe he should be in the conversation for an Academy Award because of Foxcatcher. I wouldn't give him an Academy Award nomination for Foxcatcher just yet, but tip your cap where credit's due, man. He's damn good now. He's not just passable, he's damn good. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for mailbag. No, it's not mailbag time. It's buy or sell time. This is how it works. In front of her, she's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down, and then those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Ashley, what do we got?
For those of you who are fans of the recent Dawn of the Planet of the Apes film, we have some slightly bad news for you. Although it was previously announced that the next Planet of the Apes film would be dropped in July of 2016, Fox has announced that they have pushed the movie back a full year to July 14, 2017. Although no official reason has been given for the date change, it's being speculated that director Matt Reeves requested the extra time to develop and shoot the film. Christian, buy or sell the date change for the next Planet of the Apes film?
For my selfish reasons, sell. But for the overall reasons, it's a big buy. It's a big buy because, first of all, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out 2011. The other one, they put some time, they put some effort, they found the right director, the right story, 2014. 3 years. That's fine. 3 years' time, I'm okay with it. Matt Reeves knows what he is doing. If he asked, if this indeed is the case, that he asked for the time, wants the time to really craft a new story, and I went to that DVD, the Blu-ray release, and you heard him speak. He is very drawn into this. He knows where he wants this franchise to go. If he wants a little more time, you give it to him because it is going to work. So, huge buy for me.
I'm going to sell it, but not emphatically sell it, for two reasons. One, the fanboy side of me that loved Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and I really want to see the next one as soon as possible. But the other one is this. It's like a lot of people forget. Reeves came on board Dawn of the Planet of the Apes a year and a half until its release. A year and a half from its release is when he came on board. You remember, because they went through all that drama with, is Wyatt going to be coming back? Is Rupert going to be coming back to direct this thing? Then he wasn't, and it wasn't until October of 2012 that Reeves came on board. And yet, within a year and a half, he had the time. Now, from when this Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out, you got 2 years from that to when the next Planet of the Apes was originally scheduled to come out. Well, if he came on board with a year and a half before, and he's got 2 years now, why not? But I say only hesitantly sell because you're right. He's the director. And if he did say to them, I could use more time, then big respect to Fox for saying, okay, we're going to give you another year because we still want it to be a summer release.
Well, especially they have all those X-Men movies come out in 2016.
Yeah, they got a lot going on, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it. I mean, for the reason that we just talked about how exciting it was that we get 3 X-Men movies in 9 months, but not every franchise has to be like that. And I think with something like this where you take the material so seriously, I think the extra time does help. Plus, it's not just a director that you have to get on board. You have to make sure that everybody's schedule, like Andy Serkis is a really busy dude. I don't know if he's going to appear
directing
in the next one. So everybody has to, like, it's like when you try to get a meeting, the 4 of us have enough trouble scheduling a lunch together. So when you're talking about building a movie, and especially one that is the third in a franchise that could be the best of all of them, you really got to take your time with that. I sell it from the fact that I have to spend an extra year listening to Christian Harloff tell me stories and theories about what this movie's going to entail. That's going to be a problem for me personally, but for the movie, it's a good move.
Schnepp?
I buy that last reason. I also buy that even if the script wasn't 100% ready and he's like, look, I need another 6 months. Like you said, they want it to be a summer release, so push that extra 6 months. You know, that every extra month of design and concept drawings, and how are they going to make the third? And like he said, he wants to make a 4th and a 5th one, just like the original. You know, they had 5 Ape movies. It'd be great if they followed suit and did that with this. So I'm down with waiting 3 years. I mean, these years are just going by so quickly, but we'll have already seen Batman versus Superman. This is happening so quickly, so I'm not worried about it.
All right, what's next?
Sticking with Fox Movies, the studio has also announced that they have moved up the release date of Fantastic Four 2. The sequel to the upcoming reboot will now hit AMC theaters a bit earlier on June 2nd, 2017. The announcement comes in the midst of a lot of talk and rumors about trouble on set and production of the first film. Mark, buy or sell that we'll actually see Fantastic Four 2 on that date.
Well, I usually buy a lot of things on here. I'm like Francis Buxton from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm just going to buy whatever my dad says I can. I'm selling this. I don't like this at all because I haven't heard a lot of good news coming out of the Fantastic Four camp for the first movie. So why on earth would anybody get excited about the fact that they're moving up the release for the second movie when we haven't even seen the first movie, which I'm not that excited about to begin with? And then you have all this trouble that you're hearing, all these rumors about problems on set, the director not wanting to show up. There's a firestorm here, and it's not good.
I buy it. I buy it because I never bought into any of these, rumors, we've heard whispers of this and whispers of this. Blah. Nonsense. I don't believe any of it. I think Fox knows what they're doing, and if we were talking about this yesterday off camera. Actually, I think if a director's look, Fox has shown in their past. Just read a little bit on Fox history. When Fox doesn't like what a director's doing, guess what Fox does? They throw them out, and they have no hesitation to do so. And to me, the fact that we haven't seen anything from it. But I often talk about one of my frustrations with DC and Warner Brothers for a lot of years has been never showing any confidence in their properties, never showing that they have confidence in what they've got, so why should we feel confidence? I like this move and the fact that they've already scheduled it because to me it's sending a message, whether it's a complete lie or not, they're at least sending a message that we like what we've got. We like the Fantastic Four movie we've got, and we're scheduling a new movie. But we're going to move it up a few weeks too. I like that they're doing that. It shows they at least got some confidence. At least they have the intelligence to portray confidence, whether it's fake or not. Anyway, Christian.
If you watch old episodes of this show where we've talked about Fantastic Four, I've been saying this is going to be a good movie. I don't care what anybody is talking about right now, the fans and how they're getting upset about it. I think it's going to be great. I sell this. I think this movie is going to be a disaster. I do believe all the kind of rumblings behind thing, and maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist. I don't have no idea, but I'm hearing these things. We haven't seen a trailer for this thing. We haven't seen anything.
Not even still.
It's still 7 months away. It's 7 months away.
We're a year away from Star Wars. We've seen a teaser.
Yeah, but that's Star Wars.
I'm telling you, Fantastic Four is a rebooted franchise that they need to get excitement for, and we've seen nothing. We've heard a lot of things, and as far as Fox getting rid of them, we don't know if they've gotten rid of them or not. Maybe we find out down the line that they have. I don't know. But as far as what this story is, I'm selling this because I think they're just taking that date and going, hold that date in case we can put another big property there when we need it. Hold that date there. It's a nice, healthy date for the summertime. And if we get lucky and Fantastic Four happens to be good, we'll keep it there. But there's no way. I will eat my shoe on camera if it stays there.
I'm going to buy it. I actually, all the things that you're saying make it negative, make it exciting and positive for me. Like, the director's been tranquilized on set. Things are being destroyed. What do they look like? Nobody knows. The only image we've seen is like a garbage man, Dr. Doom, like floating around on top of a green screen. Like, why is he in a garbage suit? He's like floating. Right. It could be incredible. That's all I can say. Is
incredible disaster.
No. Look at it this way. Like when you saw Chronicle and you saw how that film was made and how he directed that film, that had so much promise. And not only did it have so much promise, it delivered, I thought, as a great superhero film with, never before seen characters. I know that they're shooting the Fantastic Four. It's not going to be like a, paranormal activity, but there's going to be some handheld camera stuff. There's going to be that kind of feel to it. I think it's going to be an original take on something that we've already seen multiple times fail, Fantastic Four. So we've seen the kind of comedy family Fantastic Four twice and done horribly. So and Fantastic Four being one of my favorite, superhero groups. Growing up, I love the comic book. So I'm holding out. So that they actually scheduled the second one does mean somewhere that somebody in charge, one of the producers was like, I've seen the rough cut. This is going to knock it out of the park. Let's get going. Let's get moving.
I think the concept is cool from what I've heard about how they're rebooting the franchise. My problem is if you're trying to project confidence in this franchise, you don't do it by releasing news of the sequel. You release something from what you're currently working on. It's like saying, hey, I don't have a prom date this year, but next year I'm taking the cheerleader to prom.
No, I think it's like super confident. Like, look, we're staking claim, and now here's a picture. They'll show us next week.
It's fake confidence too. I'm telling
you.
Yeah, there's no way.
I still don't buy this notion that I want everybody to keep in mind, we're still 7 months away. John Wick didn't put out their first trailer till 4.5 weeks before the movie came out. Different budget, all that kind of stuff, different plan.
Different franchise.
Different franchise too, but this is a thing. Look, they know a couple things about this franchise. A trailer right now, I think ultimately would be pointless. And any effect it has right now would be gone. The best thing to do is start ramping up the marketing in this thing about 5 months, 4.5 months out. Look, Fox is no longer the joke of making comic book films. They've gotten their comic book films back on track in a very big way, which we just talked about. We like what this director has done before. Granted, not a long track record, but what we have, the sample size we do have in front of us, we like. We like the screenwriter of this thing. For the most part, I think we all agree. We like, maybe we don't like the casting choices per se, but we like this group of actors very much. This movie has too much going for it, in my opinion, that the only argument against it right now is Fox did bad Fantastic Four movies 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and we hear rumors, unconfirmed, unsubstantiated rumors from the set of Trouble. Look, this movie may suck. Let's call it what it is. It could be an unmitigated disaster, absolutely. I just don't think at this point what we have in front of us should deter us too much from feeling things. You're probably going to be right. You're probably going to be absolutely right about all of this.
Here's the other thing that from last year, we saw so many trailers for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So many, yeah.
I mean, a year out, a year and a half out, 5 months in, they unrelenting amounts of trailers, and I was on board. I drank the Kool-Aid. I was like, can't wait to see how they.
Talk to me in April when we still don't have anything.
All right. Hey man, I can't wait to see the premiere with you and be like, give me that $100, dude.
Yeah, as I'm eating my shoe.
All right, what's next?
Fox Studios has had the biggest year at the worldwide box office of any studio in history. According to reports, Fox movies made over $5.5 billion in 2014, beating the previous record by over $350 million. Fox's results were propelled by films like X-Men Days of Future Past, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Gone Girl, How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Maze Runner, The Fault in Our Stars, and a number of other films. John Byers set this new record by Fox.
It's surprising, but I really, really buy it because you wouldn't think Fox, right? But it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. For a number of years, the whole rep of Fox amongst a lot of film fans was, oh, Fox, they don't know what they're doing. Fox is terrible. Fox is bad. And look, whether that was true at some point or not is certainly an issue for debate. But when you look down this list, it's like you realize, holy crap, they really have had one hell of a year between Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, maybe the best X-Men film we've ever had, Gone Girl, How to Train Your Dragon 2. I like The Maze Runner. Everybody loved The Fault in Our Stars. And they had a couple crappers too along the way, but that's going to happen when you put out. They have had an excellent year and seem to be on a fantastic trajectory. If there ever was any problems, they've righted those problems, and it's encouraging, though you just naturally would think Disney would have held that record, or Marvel holds that record. It's an interesting thing, Christian.
Well, I buy it. It's great for Fox, and you list off those movies, and you understand they're putting out quality stuff, and it goes back again to you have to give credit to the team over there, because you look at all the stuff that's happened with Sony and how that team was in big trouble throughout those emails we saw. This team over at Fox is doing the right things, not only with X-Men, with everything that they're working on. But I have to reference Rocky 3. Right now, they are Rocky Balboa, and Disney next year is Clubber Lang. Looking at him and going, dead meat. You know, because it's like, next year, Disney's going to hold the title.
Oh, you're dead meat.
That's not how Clubber Lang sounds.
Hey, woman. Clubber Lang. I want you to find a real man.
Get over here, fool. Oh, come on. I'm getting the fool that tries to kick Clubber Lang, but dead meat.
All I can think about now is the Mickey Mouse in South Park. Oh. And then their version of him. Anyway, Schnepp.
Oh, yay, Fox. You know, for years, the only... Yay, Fox! Can't pay the fool, another Fox. Dun, 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 dun. That's all I would think about is like, oh, it's the beginning of the Star Wars movie. That's how for years I would think about 20th Century Fox. Was like, if it doesn't have that little drum roll and then the little... And then bang, you know, all that stuff.
You know, just to hop on that, I remember about a year ago, shortly after the announcement came out that Disney now bought Lucasfilm, stuff like that, somebody wrote in an email and mailbag, and we addressed it. And I kind of scoffed at them at first, right? Because the question was, do you think Disney can get permission from 20th Century Fox to play the 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning anyway, just for nostalgia's sake? I'm like, that's so stupid. And I thought about it. You're right. I wanted to cry. You're right. The idea that I'm going to see a Star Wars movie without that dun 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 dun.
Maybe Disney can rip it off and just have the Magic Kingdom, you know, with like doing the same exact with the lights and everything. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I was done. I have nothing. You guys covered it. Fox, yeah.
I mean,
you know.
I always thought those were lightsabers in the corner. I always thought when I was a kid. I mean, it's so funny to hear that 20th Century Fox, now that they kicked that dead weight Star Wars franchise to the curb, now has the record. I totally agree with what Christian said, is that the records were made to be broken. But you look at the actual films that we're talking about here, and it's the importance of having a diverse slate when you're talking about a studio, because you can do the big comic book film, you can do a film like Gone Girl that gets Oscar contention, and then something like Planet of the Apes where it crosses over so many different boundaries, plus How to Train Your Dragon 2, which is a family film that also entertained adults a lot, so just so many different kinds of movies. And then Maze Runner was kind of like the heat check, because if the end of Maze Runner is pretty much like, hey, can you give us another $200 million? So they're really going for it.
Trials, or whatever it's called, right? They already have the sequel.
All right, folks, we've reached that part of the show. Now we've reached that part of the show for mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Colin Peterson writes, "Hey guys, love the show. I have a question. I'm a huge Skyrim fan. I have played the game so much my Xbox won't even read the disc. I love the main storyline of the game. I could see the game become a movie, but my opinion. If you have played the game, could you see this become a movie? And would people go see it? Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks."
Skyrim is one of those games that actually has a pretty cool, if you sit down and put it onto one page and just read a one-page outline of what the story is of Skyrim, it's pretty cool. Although I remember it was about, I can't remember how long ago I saw it, the group that does the honest trailers did an honest trailer for Skyrim. And one of the things they brought out was so cool. It was like, you hear the guy, "Your character has the powers of a dragon, the heart of a dragon, the soul of a dragon, and you spend your time going around murdering dragons." It was pretty cool. But this whole concept, the mythology of Dragonborn and stuff like that, and what he's able to do, what he has to do, and all that kind of stuff, there is certainly material there that you could craft in the hands of a good screenwriter, pretty good screenplay. Would it come across as a Game of Thrones ripoff? That would be my biggest worry. I'm not saying it would. I'm just saying my biggest question would be, would it feel like a Game of Thrones ripoff at this point? Because I remember I was showing Anne like a lot of the gameplay of it, and she goes, "Is this a Game of Thrones game?" It's like, oh, it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it, a little bit? So I don't know. That would be the sticking point for me. But could it be a good movie? I think it could be a good movie. Could it be successful? I'm not sure, Christian.
I've never played the game before, but I actually know a lot from Screen Junkies who do the honest trailers, and that's how I kind of know about it. But I think that whenever anything's hot, like Game of Thrones, if anything is in that genre, whatever the hot thing is, whatever the top dog is, you're going to compare it to it.
Sure, natural.
So, I mean, anytime a sci-fi movie, space thing, even with Guardians, you're like, oh, that's got, like, it reminds me of Star Wars, where Star Wars is a champ of that, genre at the time. So I don't think that's a big fear of it. It's just a matter of, I don't know enough about the game, but I always like this genre. This is something I get excited for. So dragons, knights, look a little darker.
Yeah.
I'd be into it.
It's a really bad genre is video game movies. Still,
Yeah,
it's hard to make a good one. However, Skyrim does have a lot of potential, and Game of Thrones has 3 dragons in it. 3 kind of teenager dragons now.
Right.
This could have a ton of dragons. One of the coolest things about Skyrim 2 is that I think it was one of the first games where you didn't necessarily have to follow the main storyline. You could just kind of go chill and, just like hit on a bar wench for like 3 hours. So there's a lot to explore in this universe. So I think it does have a lot of potential. Plus with effects and the way you can do things now, there's so many stories to tell in this universe. So I think I'd be on board.
I just have to correct you guys. It's the proper way to say it is Scrim. So,
I keep forgetting that.
the movie version of Scrim, I think, has a lot of potential because, like you just said, as long as they don't go Dungeons and Dragons, like Jeremy Irons, like we're like thousands of dragons, like that's
And
overkill.
John Malkovich at the end.
Too many dragons. I think it has a potential. Yeah, like you said, it could be like Dragon Slayer. It doesn't have to be like Game of Thrones. So there's all these different sword and sorcery genres that Skyrim has taken from. Like you said, Game of Thrones is the current thing. And also, Skyrim has Macho Man Randy Savage as a dragon.
Ooh, yeah, there's a mod. There's a mod of the Macho Man as a dragon.
Go on YouTube and watch. Oh yeah!
That's the one voice I'd rather hear as a dragon than Sean Connery. That's really exciting.
I'm gonna make Smog my lady friend. Come on over here and snap into my spine. Come on, yeah. Oh yeah. Bring it, Mickey. Oh yeah.
And you're trying to club this dragon. He's got the glasses of Macho Man. He's like, oh yeah.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
Every time you hit him, he's like, oh
yeah.
yeah, right. Where's Clubber Lang in
breakfast,
Scrim?
brother?
That's right. I'm in Skyrim now. Scrim.
Okay.
Two of these guys are married on this channel. Let me point that out.
Before we move on to the last question of the day, I'm going to let you know, guys, if we're going to take a couple live questions too. If you're watching us live right now via Twitter, you can hop on Twitter, tweet to us at AMC Movie News, and ask your question, and maybe Ashley will pick it out to ask a couple live ones right here at the end. But for now, let's get to that last mailbag question.
Christopher Cook writes, "Hey guys, so glad the show is back from the holiday break. I have a quick question about my favorite actor right now, Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he has been A-list for years and great with roles like Prisoners and End of Watch, but do you think that with his career best performance, Nightcrawler, which I thought was also the best of the year, could launch him into the upper A-list and mentioned in the same breath as guys like Leo, Hanks, and Bale?"
Okay, first of all, he's amazing in Prisoners. A lot of people don't give him the credit he's due for Prisoners. He's amazing in End of Watch, which is so good. And you're right, I think his best performance he's ever given is in Nightcrawler. However, he's never been A-list, and Nightcrawler is not going to propel him to A-list, because A-list isn't just, at least to me, A-list isn't just defined by, is somebody a great actor? There are several great actors out there who aren't necessarily A-list. It has to be a combination of greatness in their acting ability and their ability to garner a following and become at least a little bit of a box office draw. When you're talking about Prisoners or End of Watch or Nightcrawler, unfortunately, no draw right there. So right now, Gyllenhaal doesn't have any drawing power. He hasn't garnered a big following yet. Could all these performances, as they start to add up, start to finally get people cluing in that this guy's amazing? If he's in something, as long as it's not nailed, if he's in something, should we go and see it? That's not called Prince of Persia as well. Should we go to see it since he's in it and check it out? This could lead to him eventually hitting A-list, but unfortunately, without any monetary big success, you need at least a little bit of that to call an actor A-list. That's just the way I define it anyway. Mark, would you see it any differently?
No, I mean, it being an A-list means you can open a movie on a weekend, too. And so he's got A-list talent, but I just don't know that he's ever really had the opportunity, though. I mean, you brought up Prince of Persia. That was actually the movie that I saw, and I'm like, you know what? He didn't embarrass himself in that. That was an impressive performance to me, because that movie was not good, and it's another movie based on a video game, and it could have been a train wreck, and he actually, put forth a game effort in it. Yeah. And then you see him in Prisoners, and End of Watch, and Nightcrawler, and you're like, this dude should be winning Oscars. And I think that he will do that eventually, whether he's ever the guy that becomes like a Tom Cruise or a DiCaprio or Will Smith, where people just line up to see him on 4th of July. I don't know, and I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to weep for him because he's a good-looking dude with a lot of talent, but I don't know that he'll ever be able to open a huge franchise like those other guys.
See, I don't know. I think I have a different definition of A-list from you guys. I do think he's an A-list actor. I just don't think he's on the elite. Because for me, Kate Winslet to me is an A-list actress, but she doesn't open movies. So I just think as far as quality goes, he's an A-list actor, but he is just not. He's not in that same category as the guys that was mentioned in that email. But he definitely could get there, and as he keeps doing movies that challenge himself like Nightcrawler, movies like that, we'll see way more of this dude. He's phenomenal.
Well, it depends on your dictionary. Like, I have something even above elite. It's the most amazing. So,
it's the most amazing.
For me, most amazing. No, I'm just like, it just depends on how it's if you can open a film, like Scarlett Johansson, the reason she got cast in Ghost in the Shell is because she can not only open a film here in America, but she can globally open a film. Everyone all around the entire world, the whole globe knows who Scarlett Johansson is, henceforth A-list.
Right.
He's not A-list yet. Prince of Persia showed that. I mean, that's the truth
but
of it.
that could change tomorrow. He could be cast as the lead in Skyrim, and then all of a sudden, now it's a huge movie.
If he was in Scrim, it could catapult him into the A-list. But yeah, to me, it is both amazing talent as an actor or actress and the ability to be a global box office winner makes it A-list.
But
that's just my definition.
We are all in agreement, though. A-list talent for sure.
Yes.
A-list talent for sure.
I'd say most amazing talent.
Pretty much.
Okay, we are a little bit over time. We're going to take a couple of quick questions here from the Twitter stream, like we said we would. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Nate Dogg writes, will the Planet of the Apes franchise end in a trilogy or go beyond?
Oh, they want to go beyond. They want to ride this train as far as they can go. Mm-hmm. And they have an infinite amount of time in front of them that they can do it. So I say as long as the next one doesn't crash and burn, which it will not, they're going to keep going.
That's
Any
what
other
I
thoughts?
thought also, but when I talked to Matt Reeves, he made it seem like it was 3 and done. I mean, that could very well change after they do the third one, but it seems like it's
But I thought Reeves in like one of his, for the press.
That's what I
He
read.
said, I'm looking to make the fourth.
That's what I thought too. But when I asked him, it was like it looked like the third would be the end of it too, and then maybe the fourth one happens down the line. He didn't say that, but based off the success, who knows? Maybe, but that could have changed. He might be saying different things as he's taking these meetings and pushing things back a year. Maybe they have different plans.
But you also look at something where it's like Maze Runner, where it's just so blatantly we're going to leave room for a sequel, and then something like Apes, you always want to see what's going to happen in that world next. So it's not like you're just we're going to save room for another one. Right. You can make a really cool trilogy and bring it to a close, and also have a lot of opportunity for a fourth film.
Well, remember, too, when Charlton Heston shows up in the original Planet of the Apes, in the timeline, there's a lot of time between Caesar and when Charlton
Heston.
Heston.
3,500.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can tell there, so the playground is open. All right, what's next?
Sundell Jeppet writes, what's the most bizarre and unique movie you've ever seen in terms of its visual aspects?
Enemy was pretty.
Enemy was really good. Oh, what was that Robin Williams one?
Where Dreams May Come.
Yeah, that was great.
Dream?
And I believe it's either Hero or I think it was Hero.
With Dustin
for me.
Hoffman?
No, Hero with Jet Li.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That is just visually
And-
every frame of that movie, the color palette of that movie. Is
I'd be mad at
insane.
myself if I didn't say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, also really good.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Almost any David Lynch film, to me, is like you enter a dreamscape, so you're in a surreal landscape.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the Raid and the Raid 2 also, it's just like because I've never seen action like that before, and also when I was a kid and I saw The Abyss and I saw Terminator 2 for the first time, just the way those effects came at you was like something I'd never seen before.
I'd say recently District 9 as well. You just enter, it's like all these films that you're allowed to just enter this world, and they've built a great
And
world.
Jaws 3D.
Jaws 4.
All right, folks. Well, that will do it for us for this installment of AMC Movie Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, lots of great films playing at AMC Theaters right now. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for all your theater showtime and, of course, your movie ticket information. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description below and you'll find a link to our podcast feed. And don't forget to click the thumbs up button, share this video on your Facebook and on your Twitter, and make sure you're subscribed to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. I want to thank the guys sitting at the table with me. First of all, over here, Mr. Mark Ellis. Mark, where can people find you online?
At 5150 Ellis on Twitter and on Instagram if you want to see pictures of me.
Mr. Christian Harloff. Christian, where can people find you?
Man, that sounds creepy. If you guys go to @Christian Harloff on Twitter, and all I want you to write is
Bonesaw is ready. Oh yeah.
Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
Instagram and Twitter at John Schnepp and TDOSLWH. And I just want to say, go see PK. It's a Bollywood film. It's playing in a lot of AMC theaters right now. I went and saw it this last weekend. Holding back tears. It is one of the most emotional and amazingly well-done films that I've seen all year.
And I think just recently broke the record for the highest-grossing Bollywood film of all time.
Yes, it did, and it deserves so much attention. It's like, so do yourself a favor and see one of the most fantastic films of the year, PK.
And, of course, our lovely host today, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram at Ashley Mova. Happy Tuesday, guys.
And you can find me on the various social internets at John Campia. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name is John Campia for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.